8.3 from IGN.
Too much water.
It's the Tekken Podcast, episode 31 for the week of August 30th, 2015. I'm your host, James Lee. With me today is Max Lee, no relation.
Yes, indeed. Our last names are also spelled differently.
Yeah.
Never mentioned that, huh?
Yeah. I mentioned it like in the first few podcasts, and then I forgot but as we gain more listeners, so many more listeners,
we've like tripled our
skyrocket
listener base at some point, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yeah. I have to reiterate that just in case. I'll probably have to do it regularly now. That voice you just heard, that angelic voice, was Taylor Kelsey.
Very angelic in many ways, not just the voice.
It has been 2 weeks since we last podcast.
Indeed.
Too long. Too much has gone by. Too many things have happened since we have last podcasted. I have started school. Have you started school yet?
Yes, we have.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's nuts. I had to pay $60. You know those little I don't know if you guys do it. If you guys have like in lectures, like when a professor will like do a little survey and like your little response thing. Do you guys have those? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So in
I
lecture,
have no idea.
so in lecture halls, like there's like responses. There's like a response system where for certain lectures where
Or like a clicker.
Yeah, a clicker. That's what they are. Where like ask a multiple choice question and then you click it to input your selection, your answer. It's used for quizzes, surveys, whatnot. So my school, in its infinite wisdom, has decided the old system was that on the back of your clicker device there would be like a little serial number, and then you would just register that to your school account, and then that's it. So what happened this semester was that the school decided to attach licenses to this. So
Licenses?
Yeah, so you not only had to buy the physical little remote thing, but you also had to buy a license as if it was like software to register to that device on like a multi-year term.
You can make a fortune like pirating it and trying to sell it to other students for cheaper.
You can't pirate this though because it's registered. So like it's like DRM basically, where you have to like activate it. It's like a license key where you have to activate it and register it with the servers. They're like online DRM basically.
Yeah.
It cost me a lot. It's
Life
like,
finds a way, James. You can hack this. You're pure science major.
I know. Like honestly,
Get on it.
I was actually gonna tweet earlier, like a while ago, was that I'm studying computer science so I could learn how to hack, so I could hack into whoever's controlling this crappy radio at the gym and change it to something that's not crappy. My gym music is not very good. Anyways, what's new with you guys? Anything other than school?
Besides school?
Probably nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
But other things that happened that don't pertain to our lives. Lots of news, including ESL 1 Cologne. That's right, eSports. New games came out. eSports.
Hit it, Johnny.
I'm not gonna throw it yet. I'm not gonna throw it up yet.
Okay.
It's not ready. We're not ready for that yet. Until Jesus Freesync.
Play our song, Sam. One more time.
One more time. XCOM 2 has been delayed. 2 movies about video games are going to be coming soon. Guild Wars 2 has gone free to play. New Hearthstone expansion and more. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's happened. So I guess we'll start off with just some quick tech news because because Ravenstorm isn't here to discuss with me, so I'll just run through it real quick.
All right.
We talked about it last week or the other week with Ravenstorm, where like the monitors, like how YouTube at 60 FPS looks so much smoother than 60 FPS on your computer, on your monitor.
Yeah.
Basically what G-Sync and Freesync do is that they make it look super smooth and silky smooth. But G-Sync is proprietary to NVIDIA, and then Freesync is kind of a little bit more open. So Intel, in its infinite wisdom, has chosen Freesync. So, and Intel being the tech giant they are, they have so much money to move around. They're probably going to be pushing this pretty hard, and it basically kind of spells out a death omen for NVIDIA's technology, which is good because I don't want to pay extra for that G-Sync technology. It's dumb. Next is that. So you guys, do you guys? I don't know how many of you guys disable ad block for like the sites you support. Taylor, do you do that?
I do.
For sites that I support, I try and like actually give them my money instead of ad block.
Okay. Do you still so you still keep ad block on?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, if in the rare case that you have it off, there's the like. I remember after I turned off ad block after like about like 6 months of not using it, and then I'm like just drowning by over these like auto playing ads. Have you ever seen these?
Yeah.
They're the worst things I've ever happened to the internet, where you open up an article and you're trying to read it, and then suddenly some weird music and noise starts playing. It's like, have you ever had cramps in certain areas? And you're like, where's that coming from? I'm reading about video games, not cramps. And yeah, so like basically these auto playing video ads will start playing in the browser. And Google has announced that for Chrome, they're basically blocking all those ads. They're not allowing any of those ads to play after September 30th.
All right.
Are they trying
Or September
to tell
1st,
people to turn off ad block?
It's actually not so much it's not so much ad block. It's actually against Flash. Like Flash, the Flash player. They're trying to phase it out in preference to HTML5. You know, like WebM HTML5 players. Like you've seen Giphy Cat, right?
I have seen Giphy
Like
Cat.
things are like way smoother in Giphy Cat and way faster to load. That's HTML5. So yeah, they're trying to get rid of Flash because Flash is such a pain to install, update. Like I'm pretty sure any computer you've ever used, like it doesn't matter where you are, if you borrow anyone's computer or use like an office computer, like there's an 80% chance you've probably been hit with a update Flash player window.
Uh-huh.
So like Flash is slowly dying, and I for one embrace our HTML5 overlords.
I've been told that Flash has some huge security issues as well.
There's a lot of security issues with Flash and Java and all that. So
Does it still exist as like a vestigial thing? Of like
yeah.
everything already uses this, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna keep using it.
Yeah, finally phasing that out with HTML5 though, so it's gonna be much better. Because Twitch is moving to HTML5 soon. Oh, speaking of which, we could talk about yeah, that's a pretty good segue. We'll talk about YouTube Gaming. YouTube Gaming launched this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys try it out yet? Because I haven't. I actually kind of took a peek. I took a peek. I haven't tried streaming on it myself. I'll try it soon.
I looked at it quickly, but I don't. It just kind of the UI seemed just like really everything was in my face.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to figure out what was going on, and kind of just got scared and just went to normal YouTube because I couldn't really tell what the difference was.
Take me back. Yeah, so now Twitch has finally got some competition under, like, you know, between I forgot.
What do you mean?
It was like a year
Hitbox
ago.
TV's been around forever.
Hitbox? I do have a Hitbox account.
Hitbox TV.
Yeah, I do like Hitbox. Actually, it's not bad. What else? Oh yeah, MLG's player. So bad.
Oh god, that's
so
god
bad.
awful.
It's garbage. I hate it. What else is there? I think there's another one, but there's other streaming sites too, like the ones for the Chinese. They have their own streaming service for the Dota 2 players. I don't know.
I'm looking through the YouTube Gaming live channels right now, and they don't seem to have that many viewers. Like the ones that they have up front.
Yeah.
It's like 71, 300, 200.
Hey, if you want to become a big streamer on YouTube Gaming, I mean, it's got a big enough name behind it that you could probably garner a small audience. So there you go, get in early while you can. If you want to, I don't know. I might try it. I'll try it just to see how good it is.
I just don't search for new content on YouTube that much. Most of the time, it's
Archived
like I have
content.
and I'm talking about I have my own creators that I like, and I don't really venture out past that because I have enough content to keep me entertained.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to try and find more stuff. And I don't watch that many live streams anyway, so I guess it's really not for me in the first place.
That's true. Yeah. I like watching Twitch for like tournaments and all that, but it's really hard for me to watch people like stream their games just personally.
And why
I
is that?
don't. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why.
We're too old for it.
I'm probably too old for it. Yeah. I try. I like streaming myself. Like streaming, like just personally streaming. That's fun. But nah, it's just watching people play video games. I don't know. It depends. I guess you have to be an entertainer as well as a gamer to stream well, I feel.
Yeah, the reason why people watch live streams is because of the person that's playing. They're not watching for the game. Not usually. They're watching
Yeah.
for the personality.
Although that's a really good point, I think that watching it for the game is something that I think didn't Valve mention it where they don't really like to do press, like they don't like to give press materials or something where like instead of releasing gameplay trailers or stuff like that, like it's a lot they said it was, someone said I don't remember it's easier to just give some big streamer a game and then have them play it than it is to just like advertise. It's cheaper.
I think I've heard someone say that.
Yeah, it might have been Valve, it might have been someone else.
Probably not Valve because Valve doesn't make new video games. So
Yeah, that'd be so weird. You know, you're streaming on YouTube Gaming, and then Valve comes up to you, is like, "Here, we're giving you Counter Strike 2, or Left 4 Dead 3."
Counter Strike 2 after like 7th Counter Strike game, they're just calling it Counter Strike 2.
Yeah, Counter Strike 2.
And
Okay,
there's like, here we have Smosh Games to announce Half-Life 3. Here we go. They're
That's
gonna
like the
play through
worst.
First 45 minutes on
Someone
screen.
kill me.
that is the worst thing ever happened. Actually, now that you mention it, though, there was one good gaming YouTuber, like gaming. Well, actually, that's the other thing too. Is like in streaming that you don't have editing on your side
True.
to make it look appealing. Streaming is just like it's all live, so it's kind of you have to do it as you go. You have your overlay, but you don't have like cuts and all that.
Well, people like the more human element. That's why like reality TV shows are crazy popular, is because it feels more real, and it feels more real if it's all live and not edited. You know,
Yeah, I guess so.
maybe that's stretching, but that's what I think.
Yeah, because I liked watching when it like Freddie W used to do a little bit of like having a little gaming channel. I think it was like Node or something. I don't remember, and that was pretty fun to watch because they did some cool stuff other than just play video games. They like will do a man party instead of a LAN party. It's like a man party where they do like airsoft or something, or we'll build a PC together or stuff like that. It looked pretty fun. I guess we should move on though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Steam, actually no, let's not.
You can just introduce the next topic without trying to be clever.
Yeah, no, I
You know, it's loud.
I was thinking of doing the esports section, but I just want to keep going down to other stuff. Shadowrun Hong Kong came out a couple weeks, like about a week ago.
Is that a standalone expansion or?
It's a standalone game, yeah.
Oh, game. Okay,
Mhm.
it's like a sequel or?
Spin-off
Is it just
sequel.
expansion?
It feels more like an expansion than a sequel.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk about it later because I've been playing it for the past week, so I'll let you guys know about that in a bit. There was a Pokken tournament a while ago. Do you know what Pokken is, Taylor?
Well, the game
Is
is
it?
called
It's
Pokken
Tekken.
Tournament.
It's Tekken. Pokemon.
Yes.
right?
It's a 3D fighting game where you play as Pokemon and fight.
Only in Japanese arcade cabinets ever.
Oh,
right?
It's coming to Wii U. It's coming to Wii U.
Yeah, developed for
Oh.
you.
Huh.
Yeah.
In English?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, Pokemon's
When I was
too big.
when I was watching the stream, and I think they were using the Wii U build, but it was in Japanese, so you just hear Japanese and
Mhm.
you know
Japanese Pokemon.
Japanese. Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
well,
just funny because like I was like there's just like this little this Japanese little girl, and then like she looks all smiley and like she has like she sounds really happy, and then these two Pokemon, these two monsters just like beating each other up. It's just like a really weird disconnect.
Was she the trainer? Is that what you're
Yeah, she's like a
Yeah.
trainer.
talking
But yeah, it looks really cool actually. I don't know if you've seen gameplay of it, Taylor.
Is it just play like Tekken?
Not exactly. With Pokken Tournament, yeah, the game is called Pokken Tournament, so they had a Pokken Tournament. Okay, so gameplay. There are two phases. The first phase is more like a arena third-person shooter / fighter. like more of a party game in which you have to hit the other character, run around, collect some kind of item. I don't know. And then
What?
when one knocks the other down, you enter the second phase, which plays more like Tekken.
Why
So-
does it? The first phase doesn't seem like a competitive thing. That's really
No,
weird.
well, by items, I think like when you hit them, I don't know, gain health, gain strength. I have no idea since I didn't
Oh, like
actually
that
look at.
Smash Brothers thing in the 3DS game where you run around and collect power ups and
No,
then
no,
you fight
not
each other.
exactly. It's more like when you punch the other person, that kind of yellow crystal thing pops. I don't know. You're gonna have to actually look at the explanation. But there are two phases. One is that third person thing. Two is the Tekken thing.
Was it fun to watch?
I thought it was
Yes?
very entertaining. I watched.
Really?
I skimmed through the tournament. Like all the attacks looked really satisfying to land. It seemed. I mean, I'm not a fighting game expert, so I'm not sure how good they actually look. It's funny because a lot like all the Pokemon seem to have shines. They all seem to have shines from like Fox's shine from Smash Bros. They all seem to have like that
Reflection.
like they're blocking. The blocking
The
system
re-
is
the
One
reflector.
frame OP.
yeah, basically. So I thought it was kind of weird. A lot of people were complaining about like how hitboxes are kind of different.
Yeah.
They're like hard to discern because.
Is it officially out? Is the arcade
No.
cabinet right?
I don't think so.
Or is it still being developed?
I
I think it's still being developed.
Okay.
So let's see the complaints. When it comes to fighting games, your hitbox actually is talking about the damage you send. Well, hitbox, as in for other games where it shows where you get your damage, would be called hertzbox. And people are saying how animations seem clunky, and yeah, hitbox and hurtboxes don't seem to always match up with the actual animation. So hopefully they fix this stuff. I mean, it's made by the same guys who made Tekken, so.
It came out in Japan for arcade cabinets in July this year,
Oh, okay.
Alright.
July 16th. So that means that the hitbox and all that weirdness that's probably the final hitboxes, I'm guessing, because they already released the game.
Well, it's an arcade cabinet, so I would assume it's fairly casual in the arcade cabinet. I'm not sure how popular arcades are in Japan though.
They're
popular. enough.
extremely
Very.
popular.
Yeah.
It's the only
Very
country in the
much.
world where they are still successful, and they're able to actually update games and arcades over there since they are internet connected, unlike here.
That's refreshing. Okay. So that was Pokken. It brings me much dismay to tell Taylor for the first time hearing it that XCOM 2 has been delayed.
This is definitely my first time hearing this. Oh no.
Delayed to 2016?
Yeah, that sucks.
Delayed to 2016?
2016.
Yeah, it said delayed 3 months, so
Yeah.
it's pretty early to 16.
Yeah.
Which when I first heard this, I was like, "Damn, I'm very sad. I want this game." But then if you look at the calendar, you're like, "Oh, there's already a crap ton of games." It could have been just a very tactical move of getting out of the way of all the other crazy games this fall to
Well,
try and getting a less populated market of early next year.
What do we got this fall? Battlefront, Metal Gear Solid, Fallout. Gotta be something else too.
Halo 5, Rock Band 4, Persona 5,
That's a stat. It's gonna be a good fall for games.
Fallout 4,
Yeah.
Rainbow
Fall.
Six Siege, Blobs 3, Just Cause 3, Super Hot,
We'll talk about Blobs 3. in a
Mad
bit.
Max, Mario Maker,
Oh god.
Jesus.
That's really bad.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's been outdated.
Yeah.
and of course Muppet Movie Adventure coming out for the PlayStation Vita next week.
Oh my god!
Marking the days until that comes out. Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, but there's a game coming out for the PlayStation. It's like the most outdated thing ever. It's Muppets and the PlayStation Vita all wrapped into one.
Oh god!
Just like let's try and be the least relevant that we can in this one game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's kind of weird how people are welcoming the delays now. You know, it's
Well,
just
it's because they've seen that when games aren't delayed, that they release like garbage.
Was it 2012 or 2013 or even 2014 was the year of just broken releases?
2014 was the main year of it,
Yeah.
with Master Chief Collection and Assassin's Creed
Oh god!
Unity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Battlefield 4 was
The main ones.
2012 actually. No, 20. I
13?
forget.
13?
13?
I
Yeah,
believe
13.
so.
Yeah, 2013.
Final answer locked in.
Yeah. That was, yeah, so a lot of broken releases. And
So
now
people are willing to sit through the delay so
I-
they don't have to get a crappy game.
Yeah, I'm
And
glad.
a lot of times it seems like release dates nowadays are just like something to get people hyped for, and they don't actually believe their own release date. You know?
Yeah, I understand that. It's like a prediction. It's like an
It's just
official.
like, oh, we'll tell them it's out this year so they go insane, and then it's like, it's not going to be done. We'll just delay it. It's fine.
It's fake
They're
hype,
used to
basically.
games
yeah.
being delayed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm I'm almost glad that like people are finally starting to manage hype, because it's just too much now.
Yeah.
Like hype kind of consumes everything. Like remember, like
But it's fun to be hyped.
It's fun to be hyped, but like
cynical and don't give a shit about
But,
anything all the time. It's,
but if you get too
not
hyped, you're
fun.
going to be disappointed.
hype giveth,
I've
and
been
hype
there.
and hype
I've
taketh
been
away.
there.
Where have you been burned, Taylor? Tell us your story.
Uh,
we're at Hypers Anonymous.
The newest Civilization game was
Beyond Earth.
garbage.
Beyond Earth.
Beyond Earth sucks ass. God, I hate that game.
That's too bad, because Beyond Earth sounded pretty good. Like looked pretty good.
There's an expansion coming out this fall. It's supposed to fix everything. I'm trying to
We'll
look
see.
at my library to see if there's anything else is. But a lot of times, if you're hyped for it, you don't buy it, and then you see reviews that are garbage, and then you're like, okay, I won't buy this. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Beyond Earth is one of those things I pre-ordered for some stupid reason, and they got me.
Got
Me
you.
good.
Sid Meier, you sneaky bastard.
You son of a bitch. There's no way you had any involvement in that game other than your name is the first words in it.
It's like Tom Clancy.
But you know, it's
Yeah.
your fault. Yeah. No, Tom Clancy's dead. But
I know
But I
exactly.
mean, like, even when he was alive, most of the games had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
Except,
he just
like,
he just wrote the books. He just wrote the books, Rainbow Siege and Ghost Recon.
Yeah, and it counts.
Rainbow
Uh,
Six, you casual.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah.
And also, that's another game coming out this fall. Rainbow
Yeah.
Six.
Yeah.
I reserved my closed beta key. When that pops up, I'll let you guys know how it is. As a veteran Counter-Strike player.
Different games.
Yeah. Yep. What else? Oh yeah. So XCOM 2 is delayed, so that's unfortunate, but you know, understandable. Speaking of
Also,
delays,
Tomb Raider
actually.
coming out this fall.
Tomb Raider. Oh wow.
More. It's like 2015 is an insane year. Everyone like yells that 1998 is the greatest year in games, and that's because retroactively you could tell that all those games had a great lineage and moving on. Like Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid, this is like was it like Half-Life? And,
Yeah.
Like
98,
every
right?
game you've ever
98.
heard of is 98. I said
Yeah.
98.
Yeah. Okay.
Like everyone thinks that's the best year in games, but I'm saying a lot of
2015
good
looks
games
pretty
this year.
good.
It's
Mhm.
pretty, even like looking backwards, there's a crap ton of great games.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
just haven't like had the
2011,
money
I
to
remember
play.
being really good. Battlefield 3, I mean, lukewarm reception, you know, looking back, but Skyrim, a lot of good games came out 2011. Deus Ex too. Deus Ex Human Revolution came out that year.
I mean, look,
Um,
Arkham City, Portal 2. Portal 2 is my second favorite game of all time.
Portal 2 came out in 2011.
Dark Souls,
Oh.
Bastion, L.A. Noire, Gears of War 3.
Oh,
I feel.
yeah, 2011 was
Duke
a good
Nukem
year.
Forever.
Oh,
Am I right?
confirmed,
Am I
confirmed,
right?
confirmed. 2011 best year for games.
Homefront, everyone's favorite game.
But you know,
Or Dead
overall,
Space 2 actually came out. Yeah, it was a good year.
it was a good year. I like
But
2011.
ain't no 20. Nintendogs and Cats came out in 2011.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Mhm.
Wait, are you talking about? Wait,
I
is it a
definitely
game
pulled
with
that
both
off
of them
the
together?
top of my
or-
dome.
I
Definitely
feel
a
like
good one.
Nintendogs came out way earlier than 2011.
Yeah,
but
much older.
It's Nintendogs plus Cats is the name of the
oh, I see,
Oh,
okay.
game. Now featuring a golden retriever. What'll I think of next?
A corgi?
Speaking of delays, though, HTC's Vive, or otherwise known as Valve VR the Valve VR headset, was kind of delayed. Where Valve and HTC initially announced for like a fall winter holiday 2015 release, and they basically kind of like half stepped. They took one step back on their word, where they, instead of an official release, it's more of like a soft release where they release it to, you know, partners and like people in the industry, media. It's not like I'm pretty sure it's still the same like product, But
It's like they're doing with the Oculus Rift mechanic, where you can buy it for developers.
no,
Kinda what it's doing?
well, no, because I think I think even now they're sending out HTC Vive developer kits. I don't quote me on that one, but I think it's just like for
Oh,
the
breaking
media.
news! Miley Cyrus has released a new surprise album just now.
Up, let's give all of our attention to that.
Sorry, all right. Could we just pause this real quick? Let's just get through this. Miley Cyrus and her dead pets.
Oh Jesus!
What?
Let's not address that. No.
Can we not?
So basically what this announcement says to me though is that Valve's got the hardware ready, they just don't have the software support ready.
And they're trying to give it in people's hands so they can get the software going.
Basically.
And that's what makes or break every piece of hardware is the software that goes with it.
Yeah, so it's smart move on them, but now that pushes them into direct competition with Oculus Rift.
That means
they're releasing in the same quarter.
That means that there's no VR coming out this year, right?
No VR coming. Well,
next.
Technically it's coming out, but not to consumers or not to all the consumers. Yeah.
That doesn't quite count.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, also quite a bit of Valve news actually this week. If you pre-order the Steam Link or Steam Controller, I believe you get a copy of Portal 2 and Rocket League.
I believe it's but if you pre-order both, you also get both. I think that's how it works.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you get. Yeah. Nope. I reading on right now. Oh wait. I believe. Yeah. It might
some
be
people
or.
did get both.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, if you
but,
want to do that, if you want a copy of, if you're gonna buy a Steam controller or a Steam Link anyways, you get Rocket League now, or Portal 2, in case you don't have that already for whatever reason. Do you not have it yet, Max?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had something stuck in my throat. That's totally
You need to
I
play
don't have-
Portal 2.
Yeah.
Alright, I
That
did play
game
the
is
first one.
incredible.
It's
But,
very
I think it's better than
I think it's better than
Portal
Portal
1.
1. Like Portal 1 was
controversial opinions. Most people love Portal 1 more than 2.
well, I think Portal 1 was a little bit too sterile, that's all. Portal 2 had a little
That's
bit
the
more
point.
character. But I like more character though for Portal 2. So
You
I mean, I
know,
like Portal 2
I'm
more.
kind of
also.
surprised how Rocket League just got so freaking big.
it's just
And
because it's a
it's not
simple
that old.
concept.
I'm not
but
surprised. It's
it's
just a great game and given to every PS4 player for free.
It's
And that
like
helped
only
to
a
blow
few
up.
months old, and
it's
it's
fun to
already one
watch.
of the biggest games out right now.
Yeah. If it had a
I mean, they
bigger
just had a
publisher behind
tournament
it,
for about $260, so it's really blowing up.
it 200.
Already on MLG
That was
and all
that was
that.
like the prize pool for the tournament that just happened that everyone was freaking out about.
That's crazy. 260.
$200.
Dirty Bomb has had larger prize pools than that.
I didn't know Dirty Bombs having tournaments.
They do. They're called Dirty Cups.
Deal.
Oh, you gotta clean that out.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, so that's the rest of the Valve news and delaying news. It was announced this week that they are making a Borderlands movie. What do you think?
Oh boy.
What else
boy.
was announced with it? Like any names or?
I that's all I heard. It's just Borderlands
Okay.
movies coming out. They're gonna create one.
This feels to me like, oh my god, that Mad Max movie was insanely popular.
Would
We
it
have
remake
something
Mad Max?
pretty similar to that.
Yeah.
I do like.
RRP is almost Mad Max, but wackier.
Yeah, Randy Pitchford is probably like really excited over Mad Max. Do you guys think the concept? Do you think it could work?
I'll talk when we also talk about the AC movie.
Okay. Taylor?
I don't think the story and the character and everything, that's not the best part of Borderlands. It's all about the gameplay and the loot. For me,
I really liked the
I
gameplay
kind
for
of-
Borderlands 2.
I kind of actively hate most of the writing in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not written by Anthony Birch, I'm guessing, the movie. He doesn't even work for Gearbox anymore. He's the guy who wrote Borderlands 2.
Oh, I see. Well,
But
the world is lush. Like, I feel like the world has a lot of character to it, so it's easy to make a story around. I mean, Telltale did it, right?
yeah, that's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't played that.
Yeah. So if they got a good writer behind it, I feel like it could do okay.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like it's just gonna be a little bit wackier Mad Max, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it'd be really fun to watch actually, because the aesthetic. If they could get the aesthetic right,
You mean the cell shaded?
if they could do the entire film cell shaded, I would be very happy. I mean, they kind of have to, right? That's like it's like synonymous with Borderlands at this point.
Animated?
No, live
Live action
live
cell
action
shaded?
cell shading, man. That's what we're
That
gonna
would
do.
be something to see.
Title of this
I mean, that's
podcast
probably
is live
doable.
action cell shading.
Yeah, this whole podcast has been cell shaded this entire time. You just don't know.
Cell shaded,
It's
cell shaded
audio.
audio. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the other movie, Assassin's Creed movie, we got to look at Michael Fassbender as the protagonist of the Assassin's Creed movie. I'm not sure how they're supposed to do this. I could see how they can make a story out of it, and I could just only see it being very linear, which is fine, but it seems very predictable.
Which era are they going with?
From what I saw, it leaned closer towards Assassin's Creed Revelations and Assassin's Creed 2 than it did towards Unity.
Okay,
From the image, just from the image.
that's probably good enough information.
Hmm.
They're probably not gonna do any crazy what's it called, the computer thing that you go inside, Animus. They're probably not gonna do any Animus
Oh,
stuff.
that would suck. Yeah.
That'd be so clunky.
It is.
That's
It takes
such a
place.
weird thing.
It takes place in 15th century Spain, so I was mostly right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
It stars Marion Cotillard from Dark Knight Rises, Inception, Michael Kenneth Williams from 12 Years a Slave, Ariane Labed from Before Midnight, and it starts filming on Monday.
Oh.
Yep.
Alright, so what I was going to say with these two movies, have any of you seen the Super Mario live action movie?
I don't. want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's
It's barely
why-
Mario.
That's why any live action
Video
game
based.
movie, kind of, yeah, I am only going to be cynical with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Has there been a good video game movie?
There's a
Tomb
3D
Raider?
animated.
I mean, it's
I'm literally
not
googling
terrible.
good video game movie.
There was a 3D animated, well, not live, yeah, but 3D animated Final Fantasy VII movie, which apparently was
Pixels.
I remember the. Oh, jeez.
good. The Pixels wasn't that bad.
I actually
Wait,
do
has it
remember
came out
that.
yet?
What?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about this.
Pixels. What, you like Pixels?
No.
Okay, you see, I went in expecting an Adam Sandler movie, so anything would be better.
It's still an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, so, well, basically I set the bar so low that nothing could disappoint me.
You saw an advanced screening, right? You had to sign an NDA.
The movie's been out forever, dude.
Alright, then never mind, I'll just talk. I saw when most of the CGI has not been properly done yet.
Whoa, that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
How did
How
that
did you
go?
get into that?
There was a bunch of green screens, of course, a lot of gray models, or a lot of models that are literally pixelated because they have not finished the shading and all that.
Will they unpixelate them in the Blu-ray version?
Are we going to make about the
No.
joke about the uncensored centipedes?
No, we'll not.
All right. Yeah. So,
How did you get into that?
It does sound really interesting.
Basically, someone from the company that does the survey thing was just handing out flyers in the college I go to, and so you see the flyer, see the link on it, you type in the link on, whatever.
You put a lot of effort into this.
You register.
To see Pixels, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a free movie. Oh, not free, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You don't pay for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you register for it, and boom, you're ready, and you just have to
Show up.
show the people that you have registered and all that.
Wow. And was the showing crowded? I want to know.
Well, of course it's crowded. It's a movie which you don't have to pay for.
Oh.
It's a free Adam Sandler movie. You
Well,
have to pay me
technically-
to go see an Adam Sandler movie.
Technically,
I wouldn't take the money, depending on how much
he
they
wasn't
gave you.
well. He wasn't the director or writer, so technically he was just an actor in it.
Oh.
There's a
Uh-huh.
huge difference.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, just like having Adam Sandler name anywhere like 50 feet within it is just like,
Yeah, that movie had.
yeah.
I've
Yeah, I wouldn't
seen
recommend you
reviews
to
of that
actually see
movie.
it. I wouldn't recommend you actually see it.
No,
It's just I only saw it because it was free.
yeah. What are your thoughts on it? Or it's still negative?
Um, hmm, it was okay. Yeah.
Decisive.
Better than Duke Nukem Forever, but that's not saying much.
Actually, that's
not
saying a
saying
fair
much.
amount. That's saying a
What are you
fair.
talking
I
about?
could gauge how bad it is.
No, you
So-
can't.
Duke
Everything's
Nukem
better
Forever
than
is
Duke Nukem
pretty
Forever.
crappy.
Okay,
Okay,
well-
better than one of the worst free-to-play Korean FPS games. I don't know.
Is it better than Sakura Clicker?
What
Sakura
clicker?
Sakura clicker.
Do you know what Sakura Clicker is?
It's a
I
clicker
know the
game.
I know. Wait, is it part of those hentai games on Steam?
It's a. You know what clicker games are? You just like click and
Like
then you
like
get
Cookie Clicker?
bigger. Yes,
Clicker,
like
yeah.
Cookie
Yeah.
Clicker.
Yeah.
But it's all anime girls, and the more you click on them, the less clothes they have, and the more attractive to you they are as a player.
BRB downloading. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
It's
No, you're not.
So
All right.
they're also making
yeah.
a Warcraft film. I forgot about that. Everyone was
Yeah.
complaining because the guy's pauldrons weren't big enough on the poster that
I
they
don't know
showed
what
at
a
BlizzCon.
pauldron is.
It's the shoulder pads.
Basically, the armor has to be bigger than the actual body.
Yeah.
That's true Warcraft style, but they
Yeah.
made it too realistic.
Right. Apparently they're making Tom Hardy's Splinter Cell and The Last of Us as another film. So
The Last of Us could probably work, but the others
Is it just gonna tell the same story?
probably. Yeah, otherwise,
Probably.
it'll ruin it.
yeah,
That would work.
yeah.
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 That's a,
Those are
Good game.
video game movies. I don't know if they're gonna work. Oh yeah, but like I actually do. For some reason, I have a vague memory of actually watching the Final Fantasy VII animated film. It was I forget every detail about it, except there's motorcycles and swords.
That's the best part.
on board.
Yep. Moving on. Actually, those are all the topics I remember I had. Oh yeah. So this week was PAX Prime. PAX Prime. I kind of wish I always want to go to PAX Prime. I always want to go to PAX Prime, but never get the chance to. Maybe since we're part of the press, we will get press passes.
What press are we part of, James?
The podcasting press, of course, because they want to hear it about it.
You know, I'm pretty sure you need a certain amount of people in the audience in order to be considered actual press.
Yeah,
That are not
probably.
related to you by your family.
Yeah, Super Giant Games was there. They had like a transistor prop made for them. Looked really
Oh.
good. And they were selling a lot of cool transistors gear, which I was very jealous of. Although I don't think it was anything you couldn't buy online. So, but yeah, ArenaNet announced that the Guild Wars 2 base game was going to be free to play.
With
this weekend.
restrictions?
With restrictions. There's like you can only you can't world chat, you can't chat, like you can't do global chat. You can only do certain things at certain amounts of time after a certain amount of time, stuff like that.
And certain areas are restricted unless you reach a certain level. That's showing that you're actually a player instead of a gold spot. So
You get less character slots, like that, less bag slots. Yeah, and I think I'm not sure if there's a level cap, but I mean,
I
Yeah.
don't think there's an actual level cap.
well, the game's level cap's level 80, but
But I mean, like, I don't think it's like World of Warcraft in which you have a level 15 level cap.
Yeah.
And also I believe no login rewards because apparently that's only for premium players.
okay, yeah.
Eh,
I actually
whatever.
own Guild Wars 2. I bought it on sale like 3 months ago.
And you never played it.
I never played it. I played, I think, maybe half an hour of it. I'll probably try getting into it this semester or this next year because my roommates and friends have actually played it. So maybe I'll join
Well,
them.
One of the most highest rated MMO RPGs in years, and you barely
Yeah, I know.
played it.
I know. Excuse me. The highest rated MMORPG in my book was Lego Universe. So it was a great game.
Well,
I got my
hopefully
tonsils
you're-
removed, so I couldn't go anywhere while my family went on vacation. Well, they didn't go on vacation, but they went to like San Francisco or something. They went for a day trip, and all I did that day was grind Lego Universe beta. It was great. I got a great item. I got a great item that day.
Well, hopefully your taste can be bent because it definitely seems like it's plastic.
That's bad. That's bad. Taylor, tell us about the Hearthstone expansion.
It's out. There's a crap ton of new cards, and it's really weird because all the pros before it came out, all the pros are like, man, all these cards suck. This sucks. This sucks. Oh god, all these suck. And a lot of them do suck, but there's a bunch of new decks out that are like new meta for finally because people got really sick. Hearthstone, there's no strat. A lot of the decks that are popular were just no strategy, just attack your face all the time, so you just rush down your opponent as fast as possible. But all the new cards trying to there's like a lot slower mechanics to try and slow it down to reduce face decks, and it seems to have worked, even though it's been out for like a week only.
Well,
But there's already a
meta
bunch of new
changes,
decks that are slower. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so that's exciting because Hearthstone kind of gets a little bit stale when you play against another face hunter over and over again.
Yeah.
But it's one of the weird decks now is there's a card that puts every secret in your deck onto the board. And the secret's so you don't know what it is until your opponent, or you know what it is, but your opponent doesn't know what it is until they activate it.
So
Like five of those on the board at once. Yeah, basically.
You activated my trap card.
Yeah. So there's a card that puts all of them on your board at once for the paladin, and it's crazy because it's impossible to deal with. Because if you try and attack any of your minions, like 3 different things will pop up and like murder it and buff everyone's. It's like a really crazy deck right now. It's really popular. I don't know if it's gonna get phased out or just a gimmick, but it's just something crazy you've never seen before, and it's bringing cards that everyone says suck
back into the meta.
Yeah. So it's a nice little shakeup. That's fun, but the problem is it's so hard to be part of this fun meta if I don't spend any money, which I haven't.
Wow, you've been playing a lot of Hearthstone, but you haven't spent a single dollar.
I've probably played like 600 hours of Hearthstone. I've spent $0.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I'll have fun with all these new crazy decks in 3 months when I get all the cards they're grinding.
I should get back into Hearthstone soon. It's so easy to do.
It's hard to get into Hearthstone now because there's so
Oh,
many cards and really easy to be behind.
that's a shame.
And like just cards. Still a great game.
What rank are you ranked? Or like how well are you ranked?
Well, it goes from like
5 to 1 or 20 to 1?
It's 20 to 1, and then there's legend rank, which is
yeah.
just a leaderboard of whoever's top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rank 10 right now, which according to Hearthstone is like better than 80% of the players.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that's 0 money.
Good job.
I just pay.
That's a
pay
good
with
free-to-play
my
game.
fucking free time instead of actual money. I've probably lost money in my free time being just dumped into that game. If I'm bored for more than 2 seconds, I just like, oh, Hearthstone, here we go.
It's because it's so fast. Like I could play that on the toilet, and I did play it on the toilet.
And you can. It's just so good for multitasking.
Yeah.
Just like my 0 attention span the internet has given me. It's a great game. Hearthstone helps with that.
I've taken up to playing Spelunky absentmindedly.
Yeah.
Just no
It's
like.
not a good game for that.
Well, it's really because you could be in a Spelunky game in less than 2 seconds. It's insane. And I would just
hit
like
X as soon as you start the game.
like I would like go to my kitchen, right? Like get some food or something. I don't know, get a drink or something, right? And then go back to my desk, and then before I even think of what I'm going to do, I'm already playing like a level of Spelunky. And then I realize, wait, I'm playing Spelunky, and then I die.
You
and
have
I quit.
accidentally opened
When
up
I'm in the
Spelunky
Blizzard
instead of
client
playing.
and I'm trying to play Heroes of the Storm with a couple of my friends, I always accidentally click Hearthstone without knowing what I did.
And then play.
If
and
I'm
then
on
play
the
around.
Blizzard client, I'm just like, oops, Hearthstone. Oh wait, no, that's not what I was doing. Shit.
Blizzard
I didn't know
Hearthstone.
what I meant
That's
to do
the-
at all.
yeah.
Oh, it's like click this blue button and then I click this Hearthstone button.
It's
Oh,
not the
like, I'm
Blizzard
having
button.
fun.
It's not the Blizzard button for you.
It's
It's
the
the Hearthstone button.
Yeah, there's plenty of
fun.
options, but Hearthstone's the only one that I see.
Yeah. Blizzard is also creating a new game. Well, they've announced it a long time ago, but it's still in development. Overwatch, the first-person champion / class-based shooter. That seems to be becoming a genre that is like it's like a vapor genre right now, because there's so many games announced in that genre, but none of them are out right now except for Dirty Bomb.
Dirty Bomb.
Yeah, which
And
it's okay. I think it's okay, but
predecessor to all of them would be a TF2.
TF2,
probably even
right.
older.
Yeah, you guys saying like nothing out, but you're just
No,
yelling
I
TF2
mean,
to
like,
me.
it's the
But
new
TF2
age.
was
Monday
the
Night
only-
Combat.
Oh,
But that died
Yeah.
quickly.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there that other game too?
Because Super Monday Night Combat.
No, there was another game. I don't remember what it was. Like cartoony. It was very cartoony.
Microvolts?
No, Taylor, you invited me to play it at some point. It wasn't Super Monday Night Combat, and I'm pretty sure the game died really quickly.
Loadout.
Loadout. That's
Oh
what
my
it
That
was.
God.
wasn't. That's not quite what you guys are talking about, but yeah.
Isn't Loadout a gun customization game?
Yeah, I love Loadout.
I
Loadout's
didn't know
great.
that died.
Hold on.
It's super dead in the PC.
Yep, super dead.
It's still somewhat alive in the PS4 just because
It's
a
on the
lot
PS4.
of people get their PS4 and they don't have any games to play, so they get a free game.
They could play
They got
Planet Side too,
Bloodborne.
right?
They could.
Apparently, it's a really bad experience on the PlayStation 4.
It's a bad experience on PC. Of course, it's gonna be bad on an inferior machine.
Yeah. Well, like hardware wise, yeah.
Uh,
Before someone gets mad at me.
But yeah, I don't know. This doesn't seem like that crazy. It seems like a weird time because TF2 came and went, but now there's just a weird resurgence
Like
of characterized class-based shooters.
like
I guess
MOBAs
it's
kind of
because of MOBAs.
Yeah, like MOBAs like they kind of decided like, hey, you don't have to be some faceless, soldier on the battlefield doing whatever you want. You could have a character and you could play as that character, and you use their unique abilities to do things.
But
And
there's
then-
so much more nuance in MOBAs with those characters than you're just shooting people with maybe like a couple different guns. You know, it's not.
Yeah,
It's a hard comparison for me to swallow, even though you guys just keep saying it.
I really don't like the way Dirty Bomb is is doing that, because instead of like creating new abilities for each character and like doing new things with them, instead they're basically taking apart the standard loadout of a regular first-person soldier and then fragmenting it out and applying them to different characters. So like, for example, one character can throw frag grenades, and then another character could throw smoke grenades. And then
That's
I think
not
they're
that
all,
much of a
and then
difference.
that's the thing. It's really dumb that like you're just like it's the piece of equipment that any soldier would have in any other shooter, and then they decide to make an entirely new character out of just that one thing. I don't. It's kind of dumb to me.
They're wearing thin on you.
Well,
Yeah, it's wearing thin.
not just shooters. I saw some video discussing about MMORPGs. It seems that a lot of games have opted out of the class system to replace them with just characters that are completely unique, so that they're simplifying the meta. Because like if you talk about an old school one, if you see a person of a certain class, you won't know exactly what abilities or weapons that person will have, because they have all sorts of choices. But with characters,
You
they're
know
limited to
exactly.
one or two things per character. So
Which I think is good, because it allows for that meta like you see in MOBAs.
but what about MMORPGs in which there are hundreds of the same character running around? Like,
Can't all be a hero, right?
they're all wearing the same clothes, they all have the same voice, same face, same abilities. It's just kind of takes you out of the immersion with that.
Yeah, for MMOs particularly. But the reason why I mentioned Overwatch, because I don't think there was anything new on Overwatch recently, but it was that we saw some gameplay of Lawbreakers. Have you seen the gameplay yet, Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty good, I must say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Grapple hooks.
it's just I don't know, man. Like you guys have just brought it to my attention how many games like this there are coming out, and
Yeah, like,
it's just it's hard to swallow all
Is
these games.
well, I'm just puzzled, because like, is there a demand for this? Like, no one really, in the words of a notable security contractor in a cyberpunk world, I don't think anyone ever asked for this. Like,
Deus
I,
Ex.
Yeah, like I don't understand what compelled these people to like start saying, let's make these shooter type games. Maybe some analyst was just like, people like shooters, people like MOBAs, let's combine the two. Even though
I mean,
like
that
obviously
feels like. Do you guys know Battleborn by Gearbox?
yes, Battleborn
Yeah.
is also
That's literally like the most direct FPS and MOBA mashup. And it's just like everything I've seen in that game is like,
meh.
eh,
Yeah,
eh.
it's well.
Why?
It also doesn't help that like Battleborn looks very monochrome, not in the sense of black and white, but it's just like kind of like TF2 where all the colors look pretty similar. I mean, I guess TF2 is fairly colorful, but to me it's red or blue, you know.
Sure.
Whereas in
Also, there's Overwatch, Battleborn. What else is there?
Lawbreakers, that just
Lawbreakers.
Dirty
what's it
Bomb.
called? Battle
There's-
Cry.
Battle.
by Arcane.
Oh, was Battle Cry? Is that another one? Oh, gee. Oh yeah, the one
Yeah.
by Bethesda,
There's like
right?
300 games with the word battle in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battlefront, Battlefield.
Battleborn, like we just said.
Yeah, they just need to stop doing that. I don't know. Anyways, like it's just weird. Like I like playing Dirty Bomb. I like playing Dirty Bomb, but the class system isn't like admittedly is not really a big focus for me when I'm playing Dirty Bomb. I play it because
Yeah,
there's a
that's
lot of
not the
Twitch
draw.
shooting. There's a lot of Twitch shooting involved, and I like kind of just jumping around the field, like kind of playing as if it was an arena shooter and just kind of like flying everywhere. Speaking of which, we'll talk about Call of Duty in a sec. But I don't know why they decided to do this. Even Call of Duty, like actually now that you mention it, like even Call of Duty's starting to do that. They're doing
Oh
the
my
thing.
God.
They're starting to do the thing where
Characters.
like you kind of select
You've
a
got
character,
a point. Yeah.
and then
Definitely playing as characters.
and then Rainbow Six Siege is doing the same thing. You can select characters as well. And that one they're trying to build as like an esport, as I think, as far as
Wait,
I know. Or they're not
how-
trying to, but they're very much. That's not. They're not ignoring it for sure.
Hmm. Oh my god, so many characters.
So like
Can we just
class-based
please-
first person, like or character-based, I should say. I should probably rephrase that. Character-based first-person shooters are now becoming a really big thing, and like I don't know if anyone really wants that.
character-based everything, and no, thank you.
That's like a really weird thing to take like out of like what makes MOBAs successful. Oh, it's the characters. And then how can we FPSs are popular, let's throw that in there too. It seems I don't know how that came to the conclusion to make all these types of games.
I mean, one thing it does introduce is like for these characters is meta. Where
That is true.
Where like you could basically like I mean I know Dirty Bomb doesn't want to do it, and that might be actually a critical flaw in their design philosophy, where you could counter different characters with other characters in competitive play. Speaking of which, I need to throw this on. But meta is like incredibly important in esports, so maybe like they're trying to build it more as an esport than a than
Like their kitchen?
just like anything else. I don't know. I don't really like. I'm just kind of overwhelmed by how many how many of these character-based shooters are going to be, and it's kind of sad because there's a lot of them that look really good. Like, I really like Dirty Bomb right now, and I like Dirty Bomb. I can't say I really like it, but I like it enough to play it every
I
other
want to
day.
play Overwatch.
I want to play Overwatch pretty bad. That one looks really fun. And then Lawbreakers looks amazing with its grappling hook and it's like arena.
The footage looks like the footage feels like it has Unreal Tournament physics.
it does give me an Unreal Tournament vibe.
It is Cliffy B, so
Okay, so and I know like this is like a horror movie where you know somebody's gonna die, and
Most people are going to die.
I mean, I'm pointing at Dirty Bomb for the first one to die, just because even now, even though they're first to the game, they're kind of stumbling. They're kind of falling over. Like they're shooting themselves in the foot in some of their.
are they leaning into esports stuff?
I mean, I told you about Dirty Cops.
Yeah. Was that like a big focus for them? Is the company themselves running that, or is that a kind of
No,
fan-made
that's third
thing?
person. That's third person. That's third party. Not third person. That's a first person shooter.
Okay.
That's third party. Which is
I'm just trying to think because every company that tries to shove esports down your throat for their game, it doesn't work. You need to try and naturally cultivate the audience in the esport will come, like with
Yeah.
Rocket League,
Well,
where it's getting popular competitively just because it's a great game and fun to play. They never yelled esports at you
For an
like when they
example of
were
a
making the
failure,
game.
for a huge example of a failure and most direct one, what you could look at Shoot Mania, which was 100%
Oh God, yeah.
only supposed to be an esport, only esport, nothing beneath that esport title.
yeah.
That's a great example.
I actually kind of like Shoe Mania, but
It was fun, but the thing is,
oh,
they-
I have to talk about
uh,
another game that kind of rose from the dead later.
Huh?
But yeah, like
But
what about MOBAs though? Because Riot basically kind of facilitates all their esports stuff.
Mhm.
And,
and same with Dota 2 with
Dota
Valve.
2, yeah, that's like all first party. That's like all like first party esports stuff.
But
So
it started out as, wow, this game's fun, let's play it competitively, and then the company got jumped in. Didn't start out like that.
okay, all right,
Mm.
I guess you could say
It's a very distinct thing. 'Cause
I'm not familiar
people
with the
people hate getting preached to and hate being told what to do. It's
Yeah.
like, this is esports. Like we talked about it with Halo 4.
yeah
Where it's
yeah.
just they just played Halo 4. It's like, first a competitive game. It's like, I don't know, man. I just want to play Halo. I don't think I could be a pro at this.
Esports,
I don't know if
no!
this game's for me.
No.
Yeah, it's like it's just going at it the wrong way. Even though I see as a company that you're not gonna be able to make a game for esports that you want it to be an esports game, but not tell anyone. You can't. It's hard to do.
You have to be
Yeah.
passive aggressive
Does that
about
make sense?
esports.
Yeah,
It's
you
more
can't,
like I wanted
try
you
and
to do
stealth-
esports or
stealth
anything.
esports. Yeah.
It's
The
And
players.
I like what you said about.
No, go on.
Okay, I like what you said about the characters being part of the esports appeal.
oh yeah.
I never thought about that before, but it's a lot easier to follow a game where so this is,
This person.
let's say, Sona from League of Legends.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Sona is doing this, not like in
That's so
Counter Strike where it's like the terrorist or they counter terrorists.
Yeah. Yeah, like they
It's
they play
like
very
harder to
obvious
follow.
roles. They play very obvious roles. I mean, that's really, on a side note, it's really funny because I also thought of Sona when you were thinking of a champion for League. But yeah, like you could. That's why in Counter Strike, the Oppers are like the most like identifiable players because they play a role and they're almost a character in themselves just because they carry that weapon.
Because that's their character class. Is
Yeah.
the guy with the op.
Yeah.
The guy with the sniper.
So that might be part of it, but that can't be 100% of it. And
And also,
I-
these types of games are easier for the free to play. The
Oh, that is true.
Audience.
economy that we're in
oh yeah, you could buy.
is that because the whole thing about MOBAs that Dirty Bomb took from is the way they unlock characters and give the characters to people.
Yeah,
Oh, there's free weeks and you can buy a character for real money.
it's free.
I would not.
It's free
I
Fortnite.
would be
actually.
surprised if the other games did not do the exact same thing.
They're
Whereas
guaranteed. They're definitely going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overwatch
Yeah,
is
and
definitely
that's-
guaranteed.
yeah,
What
it
if-
feels like business before like actual game. At least for was it Battleborn,
Battleborn. Yeah.
the Gearbox one to
Yeah.
me.
What was the Bethesda one, Max? Did you?
Battle
Cry?
It wasn't a steampunk.
No, Battle Cry was Arcane Studios. Yeah, that is Bethesda then.
Yeah.
Arcane
Yeah,
is
yeah,
another
Arcane is
Bethesda.
Battle Cry.
Bethesda.
Battle Cry and Battleborn.
Oh,
Oh.
That's infuriating.
There's more too.
I know.
Yes. I'll just go play Shrek Super Slam.
That's
that
a
has a
unique
small
game.
competitive community.
It does it really?
With techniques
Oh jeez.
like
Meta.
like wave slamming or something.
Shrek wave slamming meta. Can you
Oh,
ask?
God.
Can you ask whatever like crappy studio to make meta changes? Speaking of meta changes or lack thereof, last Sunday on the WWE Super Slam was ESL One Cologne, the thrice yearly second of the third major Counter Strike tournament of the year, I believe. Right? Because there's Katowice of Cologne. So this one was Cologne, and then DreamHack in the winner. So, I mean, at first I was pretty excited because a lot of the teams coming in were pretty stacked. Like TSM was really good, Virtus Pro was looking pretty good, Cloud9 was doing exceptionally well, and everyone's really excited about them. And then and Fnatic was always doing well, and like all these teams were doing really well, and then like NVS had that really good roster coming up. Like they're now the best French team in the world. They're the best team in
French
France.
team in the world.
Yeah, I mean that's also true, to be honest. But
I know
all these teams
redundant.
all these teams look super stacked, and then the tournament starts, and then Cloud9 goes out in the groups, kind of almost expected at that point. Like, well, not expected, but like, not surprised. Especially with best of one elimination group stages, which a lot of people were complaining about. But after Cloud9 like got eliminated, I basically almost stopped caring about the tournament. That's like my fanboyism like kind of showing through. But after that, like I just felt like the tournament got really boring after that. Like the matches were really close, but like everything turned out as expected. Like Virtus Pro did really well, and then they got beat by Fnatic, and then Fnatic just went home with everything. They just kind of dominated.
Yeah.
As usual.
They not only dominated, but like they dominated like very, very decisively, and it was so boring to watch them be just like so dominant. Because all their games were like 16, except for the grand finals on the second map. No, on the third map. No, on the first map. Like except for the grand finals on the first map, like all their games were like they're doing like double digits against single digit numbers.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, and it was just really depressing to watch. It was like just really boring to watch to me. Did you watch it, Taylor?
I'll be back.
For a little bit.
Did in fact watch it.
You did? Okay.
And not a ton of it. I have work
Yeah.
in the mornings, and that's when
all the tournament
happens because it's in Germany.
Yeah.
But I didn't find it super boring.
Really? Okay. Maybe it was just me.
I'm not a fanboy of any team really.
Okay.
It was the first time I did the pick'em prediction.
How'd you do?
I forgot to do it for the semifinals and the finals,
So you got
so
nothing?
I could have done better.
Oh, okay. I
But
just thought
I would have got gold if I got the last 2 days.
Oh, okay. I just thought like, well, okay, like Fnatic is very good, and then hey, guess what, guys? They're good, just like you predicted.
We're still good.
Yeah, we're still good.
Yep.
And then NVS, hey guys, we're
Yeah.
good too. We got Kenny S on our team, and we have all the best French players except for I think Shocks, who's on Titan because he's with Smiths on Titan.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. But everyone else is fine, and then of course, hey, Fnatic is better than NVS. Guess what? Guess who won? Fnatic. And then it's just like to me, I just thought it was just like really boring. And I hope.
I mean, it's predictable, but it's still fun to watch. I don't know.
There were a lot of good matches. There were a lot
value was great.
Production value was good. But like the matches were really close actually. But it was so easy to see who was gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no upsets. That's what
No
that's what you're worried
upsets,
about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no
it's
upsets.
pretty predictable tournament.
Mhm. And maybe they'll queue in some meta changes for the game. I don't know. We'll see.
That game never changes.
Well, they do some slight changes because like what they did the op movement speed decrease.
That
No
didn't change the
scoped.
game that much.
CZ, adding the CZ, that's a pretty big meta change.
I mean, just nerfing it was the big meta change.
Well, introducing it first, then nerfing it.
It's like Counter-Strike levels of big meta change. But I'm used to League of Legends where there's a patch every 2 weeks that over the course of like every month there's 5 new characters that are the best.
Yeah,
And like everything's always changing.
That's just like concerning because like, is it okay to not have meta changes? What do you think? Like,
It's what keeps it's really weird because professional sports, there's some like small changes, but like you don't really notice it as a casual observer. But
athletic
a lot
sports,
of the big
right?
esports, I said sports.
Yeah, okay.
Is just a lot of big esports is shit's constantly changing, and I think it might just because video game fans are a lot more fickle than sports fans, so they need something to be new all the time.
Okay, yeah.
But then again, I don't know because Counter-Strike's still popular to watch, and that doesn't change at all.
Yeah. Do you think it'll stagnate?
But
Because it was what? It was 1.2 million The 1.3 million.
Yeah, that was the largest
Yeah.
Counter-Strike tournament viewership.
Yeah,
With
I don't
a
know
bunch
how
of
like
millions.
percentage, like I don't know how much percentages, like the percentages, like was there like a huge percentage increase between DreamHack Winner and Katowice, or was there a
I don't know.
smaller increase? I don't know.
If whether you're trying to look at the time
Growth
graph
is
of
the
viewership,
like
yeah.
I'm worried about growth, like how much the growth is changing. I mean, the growth is there's obviously growth, but I don't know if the growth rate is decreasing or increasing.
Yeah, Counter-Strike's a weird outlier in the major esports scene.
Because what? No
Because it's-
characters. It's a
There's
very
no
old game.
characters.
First of all,
It's not
old.
free to play.
it is not free to play, but there's still skins and people are still throwing lots of money at it. People act as if it's free to play though, because you're like, oh my god, this guy's a Smurf.
Well, yeah, because
Just like-
it's often on sale.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's weird. It is a weird esport. It is. Yeah, you're right. It is an outlier.
It's the only FPS to truly break through and become very, very popular esport.
And consistently too.
Yeah.
1.6. And I think Source was like the kind of redheaded stepchild. But it's just like for the meta changes, it's, you know,
Were we still speaking of meta?
for Counter-Strike, yes.
Okay.
It was very boring, I thought. Taylor
yeah,
thought it was fine.
I mean, I had a slightly better experience with it, but
Oh yeah, you just got item drops. A lot of people were watching for the item drops, which I think is another big.
Oh, did you get an item drop?
Max, he got 2 in the final match.
cobblestone.
Two cobblestone
Souvenirs.
packages in the grand finals.
Each one's
How much
like
is that worth?
$37. Each one's
What the
37
fuck?
bucks. I know. I
Fuck
wasn't
yourself.
even
How-
hoping
what?
for one.
Look, like
How is that
hoping-
possible?
like what happened was on Saturday night, the night before the finals. I tell Max like, hey, the finals are gonna be on tomorrow. You want to watch it with us? And he's like, fine, I guess. It's kind of early, but whatever. And then, the final starts, and then like again, we were talking about how predictable it was, and I felt kind of bad because I dragged Max out early in the morning just to watch this boring match. I thought at least, and then because, come on, Fnatic dominated that
I didn't
that
get to watch
last map.
everything. So.
The last map, Fnatic just dominated and was really sad to
Yeah.
see. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe I made Max get up for this, or make him feel obligated to come up and like get up early and watch it.
But he made money.
But he made money, so it was like, all right, guess don't feel this bad anymore. But I
Damn.
wonder how much of a factor drops were, because League of Legends, Dota, whatever, there's no real like there's no monetary incentive to watch the matches.
Yeah.
Whereas in Counter-Strike there is. So like I wonder if people setting up multiple accounts, because I read on the internet, people on the forums, like people were just like, oh yeah, I made 6 accounts, I got like 10 drops. I'm like, well, okay, so
10
if,
drops.
so if like
That's
so if
huge.
people are making like 6 accounts, like how many people are actually watching? How many unique viewers were watching?
That is true.
I don't think that's a minority of what are doing that. I'm sure.
I hope, but it, a lot, given how much money you can make out of that. I mean,
So many
Max
people-
just got $70, like straight out.
And I wasn't even hoping for souvenirs.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who play CS:GO just to make the money. I mean, that's why a lot of people used to play TF2. But Christ.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird. I think we're almost time. It's almost time to close out. We passed the hour mark already. So. And I actually
We have.
Hmm?
I got more to talk about.
Oh well. Is there more news? I'm not sure.
No, not news.
Okay.
But we have games we've been playing stuff.
Yes, that's
Ah.
that's what I'm getting to.
Sorry.
We will start with Max. What have you been playing?
I'm not sure. I believe I played Warframe. I did Dead Space video editing, but I have not actually played the game in months, so my fear sensitivity is back to
Did you get reset?
normal. So whoa me. I think I played a little bit of the Blob Street beta. It's
Okay. We'll talk about that
it's-
all together at some point. Because Taylor, have you played it yet?
I don't have access.
It's
What?
open now. It's open now. It's open beta now.
It's
Anyone
what?
can get it.
Okay, shit.
Well,
Well,
I guess Taylor can't talk about it. Max, what do you think of it so far?
I thought we were all right. So we're talking about it now.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Well, it just feels like Call of Duty. The whole what is it, jetpack wall running thing? It feels incredibly gimmicky in this game. Like with Titanfall, it feels natural. It's what you're supposed to do. With this, you don't have to do it. It's just thrown in there. Like you could also see specifically where you're meant to do the wall running. It's not natural. It's terrible map design in terms of the new movement possibilities.
Okay. Yeah. Gunplay was predictably the same. Anything else you want to make note of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 beta? Because otherwise it looked kind of like the same Call of Duty to me.
I mean, it probably runs better than Ghost, but anything runs better than Ghost.
Yeah, there was a lot of problems with Ghosts. I think they were just testing too much. Yeah, I couldn't really proceed, like in terms of gunplay and like gameplay, I just couldn't see any difference. I actually
Did you play
enjoyed
Advanced Warfare?
I played Advanced Warfare in a free weekend or two, and I thought also pretty meh. I think they just added double jumping, no wall running. I think.
No,
I think there was
just
some. Yeah,
there's just a boost jumping and all of that.
yeah. They have that too, but you get more boost jumps in Black Ops 3. You get like 3 or 4. It's actually really impressive.
You can just hold it down actually.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. In the case of Advanced Warfare, they're actually boosting jetpacks, while in Black Ops, it is just a jetpack.
I like to tap it just to like kind of hop around. But I actually use the wall running a lot. I don't know.
Is it really
And-
fast paced?
Yeah, because
A
time
little
to kill is pretty low. And yeah, it's Call of Duty, so it's of course it's gonna be fast paced.
Oh, by the way, if I'm not sure if you know this, but while you're sprinting, if you're sprinting long enough and then you hit the crouch key,
You slide.
Yeah,
you do
boost
power
slide.
Power slide, yeah. Which also pretty gimmicky in my opinion. That's something I didn't use. I know I didn't use that.
I used it once successfully, and then it was useless.
Yeah. Other than that, I was actually fairly disappointed because maybe it's because every year they just tell you, hey, this time it's going to be different and better, and it's probably better, but not perceivably.
I mean, sometimes it was different, but just worse.
Yeah.
Black Ops 1 and 2 are great.
I liked Black Ops 2. That was a good Call of
Did you
Duty.
play Black Ops 1?
I played a little bit of Black Ops 1 and I enjoyed that too, but
That's my favorite Call of Duty
of all
by
time.
far. Yeah.
That was my first Call of Duty, and it was disappointing.
I like Call of Duty 4 the most, but multiplayer. Well, not the multiplayer. Call of Duty 4 multiplayer was mediocre at best.
But that was what made people start
What are
buying
you-
Call of Duty.
Don't like Call of Duty 4 multiplayer?
I thought, well, maybe it was because I was spoiled by other games because I played it. It was kind of like a retroactive thing where I played more modern shooters first, and then Call of Duty 4 later.
It is
They
outdated.
were influenced by it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I just it felt kind of limited, and there were some fun parts, but like I like the story mostly of Call of Duty 4.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
The last good story in the Call of Duty game, arguably.
World at War maybe.
Well, I've heard that with World of War. Okay, basically the older World War II Call of Duty games. I saw this like 2 hour long thing about the story, so I don't know why, but with the old ones, it felt like war, and they focused specifically on the soldiers. It was like Call of Duty. It was the soldiers' Call of Duty. But starting with World of War and all the ones after, it's not really about the soldiers, not their life stories. It's just about being a badass American soldier that could kill hundreds of people. They changed the story from being more about the people you're fighting with and more about just being Hollywood action.
Yeah, I noticed.
They're always like that.
Yeah.
And instead of you just being another soldier, you are the central soldier. Like, but doesn't the Russian soldier in World of War be the most important soldier in the story? Like, he does all the great things. Like,
He single-handedly fought against all the Nazis in Stalingrad.
yeah, pretty much, and was the one to put the flag to retake the area and all that.
Mhm.
While in the old Call of Duty, you saw someone else do it. You were just a soldier.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Black Ops 3 was, it's meh. It was meh to me.
I'm installing it right now.
Have fun.
I mean, it's
What else
not
have you
bad
been
if
playing?
you're playing it for free.
Yeah, that's true. What have you been playing? What else have you been playing, Max? I know what
me?
you've been playing, but
What have I been playing?
You have been playing Gauntlet, Max.
Oh yeah, we have been playing Gauntlets.
Yeah.
Oh, the
They
new
released-
Slayer update.
Yeah, it's really weird because like they added a free update to Gauntlet. Like
Well,
it was
apparently it's because they released Gauntlet for the PS4, and the PS4 version is basically an updated version of the original Gauntlet, and so they just, instead of reselling it, they did the kinder path and just made a free update for PC players.
yeah, it's pretty cool though. There's more
Yeah.
customization.
Some changes, how some abilities, instead of using the potions, just becomes a passive ability of the characters.
With cooldown, yeah.
And
It was an
The
active
wizard-
ability with cooldown actually.
the wizard probably has the
The
biggest
most
change, in
changes,
my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Because
Like-
he already gets like different, like way more abilities than all the other characters. But then you have like 4 variations of that.
Yeah, 3 new skill books.
Yeah.
So new combinations of spells, and oh my god, Jesus.
Yeah, that seems pretty fun to play. I just play Archer, but you know.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing?
I've also been playing. Well, it's probably been too long, but every every other week or so, I probably pick up Shadow Warrior for an hour or two of playing.
Oh, that's nice. Always fun.
I mean, well, yeah, it's what is it, an old school style shooter where you play as
new one? How about the new one, right?
yeah, the one, not the ancient one. What is it? An old school style shooter in which you're able to chop or blow up demons, and while you're also playing as a Japanese guy with a foul mouth
Low
and a lot
wing.
of wang jokes.
Right.
You can't handle the
His
wang.
name is Low Wing.
Low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, does that make him Chinese? I'm not sure.
what?
Well, L-O, because like L, Japanese don't use the letter L that often, as far as I know.
Well, the game is not supposed to be Japanese authentic. Like in
Japanese themed weapons,
like when
yeah.
you're introduced to
Yeah.
him, he's singing "You Got the Touch" from that Transformers movie.
Nice.
It's just 80s pop culture fun for the game.
Okay. Yeah.
I played that
Shadowrun's
game when it
so-
came out,
Shadow Warrior.
But I got stuck. It was like, activate this thing. Like maybe 45 minutes in the game, and it's like, fuck you, I will let you do this. Like, okay, I'm done at this.
I'm done.
you
Was
glitched
it
out
one?
and have
Was it
not
one
gone
of the
back.
katana things?
Oh,
like,
I don't remember. It was
you
just,
just-
like some fucking button. I could not remember the button, and I could not figure out how to do it.
You just double tap one of the directional keys, WASD, while also holding left click while you have your katana out, and then something should happen that way. And that's it.
All right, we'll have to reinstall that game now.
Max has unlocked the secrets for you. Actually-
I am 4 hours in. So.
Oh, okay. Actually, there was actually a little thing that Nvidia announced where they could let you stream your game and let your friend control the game for you, or do
What?
co-op over the internet. It was really weird. So like,
Is this
if
only
that-
for Nvidia cards, or
probably, yeah. Well, yeah. If you have an Nvidia card, you could share with any other friend. I think you could like, and then your friend plays it in Chrome or something like that.
Wasn't something like that supposed to happen with the PS4, but never got through?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's like Nvidia's version of the PS4 feature. So like, let's say I'm playing like Portal 2 with you,
Yeah.
like, and I'm stuck on a level. I could shift control over to you, and then you could play it in your browser, and then you could solve the puzzle for me. Or we could play co-op together, but using my hardware. So you're playing on like your dinky little laptop, but I'm playing on my, crazy PC, and then you're playing at comfortable frame rate and settings, while I'm also playing at comfortable frame rate and settings.
And I troll you by throwing your character off a ledge.
Yeah, basically. In true Portal 2 fashion. But yeah, moving on. Is that it for you, Max?
Yeah, that is it.
Okay. Taylor, what have you been playing? I want to know what you've been playing.
been playing, the usual of
The trifecta?
the Counter-Strike and HOTS and Hearthstone, yeah. But I also just finished watching all of the playthroughs of all 4 Metal Gear games.
Oh, that's right,
And-
because Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, is coming out for PC on September 1st.
And I'm gonna play the hell out of that with my new rig that I just got all set up for my PC.
Well,
But, like,
not
I don't-
all done set up, but yes.
It's yeah. I still have to install drivers for my graphics card, but you know, that's basically there. But do you guys know anything about Metal Gear at all?
I know it's very
Um,
confusing, and you hide under boxes as Solid Snake.
Correct.
I know a little bit more than that, but I have not actually seen the movie compilation story things that people uploaded to
Okay.
YouTube. I just read some wiki stuff, and I probably know everything about Raiden since I saw a whole playthrough of Metal Gear Rising.
Okay. Yeah. It's just such a unique thing in video games that like I just watch gameplay of everything now and it's still amazing to me. And I started reading a book about analysis of the first game by
Really, an analysis of Metal Gear Solid?
by Anthony Birch and Ashley Birch, the writer of Borderlands 2, who I mentioned that I hate the writing in Borderlands 2,
Which
but I
is
like the
unusual for
writing in
you,
this.
yeah.
But I like the writing in this book a lot. It's just such a weird, unique thing in video games that I just want to know as much as I can about it.
How is it weird and unique? Is it because it was like the first cinematic video game?
It's just the how seriously it takes itself versus how not seriously it takes itself,
Ah,
and like characterizations, everything. It's just in the first game, the character like you're supposed to be the greatest stealth like warrior of all time, but you're constantly shown as being a bumbling idiot. Like every time someone tells you anything, you repeat the last two words of their sentence as a question, like you
Metal
didn't hear them.
Gear?
Yes, like every time. And then he also is just like socially awkward with a woman, and it's just such a weird thing. That, like it's not supposed to be like that, but just how it turns out because the game's so insane.
Wait. But you're not actually playing as the greatest stealth warrior of all time. You're the clone of the greatest stealth warrior of all time.
Yeah, you're basically the same. Snake and Big Boss are basically the same.
Oh, you got all the recessive genes, don't you?
Except
That's a
for that was
spoiler.
the twist.
Yeah.
No, the twist is that he got all the. This game came out in 1998.
No
So
spoiler
I'm not.
warnings.
This is story heavy game. The only part of Metal Gear Solid is a story. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 had
Except
like
for
7 hours of cutscenes.
But the interesting part about Metal Gear for me is the insane story. But Metal Gear 5 is barely story from the review that I've seen. It's mostly crazy gameplay of like endless building your base and like Far Cry style stealth open world,
Sounds very
and
fun.
just like it's not story at all, but the gameplay is good, and that's great because it's the first one I'll actually be playing. And the gameplay is actually good.
You picked the
Well,
perfect time to get into Metal Gear Solid, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Got all the
I mean,
story over with,
I'm
now you can just play.
Just pretty hyped about everything Metal Gear at this point.
Isn't the
Good.
only important story part of Metal Gear Solid 5 showing Big Boss going from the hero to one of the biggest
The bad
villains
guy?
in the franchise?
Supposedly, yeah.
So it's gonna be simple, pretty much.
But then at the end of Metal Gear 4, he's actually a good guy.
Yeah, plot twist.
Metal Gear 4 is one of the most insane pieces of story to ever exist. Because Metal Gear 1 through 3 are all completely insane on their own right, and then Metal Gear 4 brings in every character you've ever heard of, and the story all wraps it up nice with a neat little bow, and does it well.
Nice.
And it makes no sense. It shouldn't be possible.
It's
They
cooking.
only retconned one thing to make more sense.
That's
in, like the
impressive.
story.
That
The
is
rest of it
impressive.
works on its own.
I want the writers of Metal Gear to write like TV series and films now.
Kojima.
It's just Kojima.
It's just
It's-
Kojima.
Kojima
That's
does
also
everything.
the other thing about Metal Gear is it's the main like auteur video game that we have in our medium, where it's literally
Yeah.
this brainchild of one dude, this absolutely insane guy who just clearly can tell that no one's ever told him no. That's why his games cost so much goddamn money.
And that's why
They're
Konami
just-
probably didn't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, one of the
It's
factors.
just- it's just
Well-
such a weird thing that I just love it. I love that it exists. There's so many flaws in the games are really sexist, but like as it's just such a weird
Like-
thing
Quiet.
that I'm so happy. It's like, yeah, is quiet's one thing. It's just like every character, every woman is the most like overly sexualized human being in the world.
It's Japanese, so
Yeah, I know. You can tell me that no culture is wrong because that's a big thing in
No,
business
no,
is
no,
that
no.
no culture is wrong, but like that's just really fucking sexist culture.
Yeah.
And in Metal Gear Solid 4, there's 4 boss fights of they're like cybernetic woman, but they're just in the game because Kojima wanted to hang out with models, so he could mocap the models.
Uh,
Oh,
And
Kojima.
it's
Kojima's design philosophy is so weird. Like, have you seen any of his other games, like Zone of the Enders?
I have
That's
not no.
okay. That's I do have the HQ Lex, but that's a mecha series, and with every human piloted robot, the word cockpit is taken to its most literal definition. The
Oh,
cockpit
boy.
is actually a cock on all the robots.
Oh no.
No, and most of the robots are kind of shaped like females as well, so I think that's a fetish.
Oh no. Oh no.
There's a kind of like the human is reflected in his game that you don't get in that many other games because there's so many people working on it. But you can see Kojima in Metal Gear, like it's so insane.
That's impressive. That's like that. Yeah. That's impressive.
And he
Um,
loves movies so much. There's a scene in Metal Gear 4 that is just the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And he said in an interview that scene was just there because he really liked the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That's great.
Oh,
That's great.
Christ. Wasn't he literally in Ground Zeroes as an actual character?
I haven't seen that
I
part of it.
believe it might be an Xbox 360 DLC, but you had to save a hostage who happened to be Hideo Kojima. Yeah.
Yeah, and he puts his name in he like shoves his name all the time into everything he can.
Hideo Kojima production.
There's
yeah.
parts in the game where it's supposed to be like video 3, like switching to different like inputs on a TV, but also like video 3. I could just go on and on about little tiny things about how insane the story is. There's a character in every single game that all he does is shits himself. It's his entire character. This goes from the grandfather to the son in Metal Gear 4. And the son just like happens to marry one of the main characters in the story. And he stops shitting himself. It's just
That's
mind
like-
blowing.
It is like the best like example of continuity in a series you've ever seen.
Johnny Sasaki. It's a white guy with the name Sasaki. His entire character trait is he shits himself.
That's
Oh
great.
my god. God, he's a mad scientist.
Mad
in video game
genius.
directing.
Yeah. There will be none like him, unfortunately. Any other games
Yeah,
you've been
so-
playing, Taylor? that is not admiring Kojima's insanity.
Trying to think. I'm looking for. This is not really playing, but it's video game related of the
Sure.
Spelunky book,
Oh, right.
which
Yes.
is how I found out about the Metal Gear book. It's by Boss Fight Games. They did Kickstarter where they get a bunch of people to write games or books about certain games.
That's really interesting, actually.
hmm
Like the
And
idea
Metal
of,
Gear was one of those.
like the idea of just like we're gonna make a book on a game.
hmm
That's
And the Spelunky one is written by Derek Yu, the
creator
of
of
Spelunky.
Spelunky. Yes. I have.
And it's just gonna go like fully into everything you could possibly imagine about Spelunky, and I need it. I need it so bad.
I really want to
Oh
read
my
that. yeah.
god.
And wow, I'm surprised how much you actually want to read it because I probably, I mean, how many hours of Spelunky do you have on?
I played Spelunky for like 100 hours.
Oh, okay, all right. That's
Actually,
actually.
it's I played it on Xbox 360 and Steam.
Oh,
don't
I
know.
see. Oh, I see.
So that's why it's split.
Okay.
What's my Spelunky on?
Steam.
Let's see. On Steam, I have 49,
Okay. So most of it's on the Xbox 360. Okay, I was wondering. I was like,
and I've still never beat it.
let's see. I beat the first version, and I was so proud of myself. I
And then
could have
the
gone further.
eraser.
I could have gone like the hell run, but I can't. I would have died. I got to Yuma. I got to Yuma, and then I fell into the lava and died.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's Spelunky for you. There's also that
Spelunky
time.
is just such a, it's like perfectly designed.
It's a perfect platformer in my opinion.
I don't even really see it as a platformer. It's weird.
Like the timings for like that game are perfect.
I think it's like the perfectly designed roguelike for me.
Okay, yeah, that's probably better. That's probably a better word for it. Because like you die fast, you start fast, you go through
Gotta
the
go
levels
fast.
fast. Yeah, you gotta go fast.
And
Okay.
Yeah, I could talk about a lot about that, but don't need to.
Yeah. But, I mean, speaking of
need
Spelunky,
that
that's what I've
book.
been playing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's your default state of mind.
It yeah, basically is. I guess is anything else you've been reading about?
I can't think of anything top of my
Okay.
head.
This talk about Kojima is like just making me think what Silent Hills could have been. Like
I know.
they've already
With
had
Guillermo,
some convoluted story and some creativity, but put in Kojima and then it's just going to be one hell of a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Can never be bored with anything he makes. It's not possible. You can hate it, but you're not gonna be bored.
Yeah. So, what I guess I'll go over what I've been doing. Basically, I got a lot of gear in a couple weeks ago. I wanted to talk about it last week, but we didn't have time to podcast. So, I got a new coffee grinder, guys. Yay!
Nice.
It's a burr grinder, so it's made of ceramic. I don't know why that makes it better, but apparently it does. I also got my new headphones in, the AKG K53s. I'll post a review at some point. Oh yeah, this is where I guess.
Where are you posting it, James?
Oh, this is where I tease that we are going to actually create a website soon-ish, probably. Ravenstorm will be designing it. He'll be managing it, I believe. I think we're thinking on calling it the Data Brew, but just databrew.com or databreak.net, one of the two. We'll see. But yeah, we'll have a website up and then we'll start posting things there. Reviews, videos, pictures, writing.
Whatnot.
Post my
Yeah.
podcast prescriptions on there.
That's a good segment name, Taylor. Podcast prescription. Good job. So yeah, I've been testing out those headphones, but in terms of games, I've actually been very kind of all over the place. I mean, I've been playing more Deus Ex. I've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike. I've been playing a lot of Spelunky, but Shadowrun came out. Shadowrun Hong Kong came out, and it is like my favorite thing right now. Even though I haven't been playing it enough, I just absolutely adore it right now. And like I can't hate Shadowrun like as much as I would want to. I just can't because it's I'm not even like a veteran of tabletop RPGs. And what's fun, and Shadowrun is based off a tabletop RPG, but the way the harebrained schemes have created Shadowrun Returns, Dragonfall, and Hong Kong, like I can't see how this game could have been a tabletop because the systems they've implemented are so complicated that it would take so long to play through a game of Shadowrun, like on a tabletop, because there's like in the game where there's a class called the Decker, which is basically the hacker class, and when you hack systems, it basically becomes a completely different game with different enemies, different turns, all within one turn. So, like 3 hacking turns, and they're fully fleshed out turns with abilities, hit percentages, and all that goods and movement. That's all. Like you do that 3 times for every regular turn of combat. So it's just like a lot of time. And so
That
yeah.
new? That new?
I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the Shadowrun tabletop game, but like if they did that for like the tabletop, I can't understand how people could have played the game. They would have lost like anybody who wasn't a hacker would have lost their patience a long time ago.
Well, a lot of imagination, probably. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, that's 100% imagination, pretty much. You don't have to follow the rules. And
Yeah.
I guess Shadowrun just wanted to go even further in depth.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very deep in terms of like how much stuff there is. Speaking of like immersion, like it's an isometric game, but the environments are so gorgeous, and like let's also address the fact that these are all like handmade environments.
Whoa.
And the environments are gorgeous. Like if you look up a screenshot of like Shadowrun Hong Kong, it looks absolutely phenomenal. Like the art is absolutely great, amazing. Like it really captures Hong Kong, like the ghettos and like the neon lights and all that, and like the boat cities, and the environments are a lot bigger. There's a lot of characters you have to talk to, a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue, and writing is really good. I feel like I'm reading a book every time I'm like I talk to someone, and it's a good book too, and the dialogues are just really fleshed out.
Depthful.
It's very depthful. Like and all I actually can't fathom how like when was the Kickstarter? Like it was like in April. I can't fathom how they could have written so much in like 8 months, because, or less than 8 months, like 6 months or less. No, 4 months. Yeah, they made this game in like 4 months. They probably it took a little longer than that because they probably started before the Kickstarter, but
Most likely.
like there was so much writing involved because there's so many, because you have to make choices in dialogue, right? And there's like a completely new set of dialogue for each class, each race, each each skill, like almost like basically to the point where like if you have more skill points, you'll unlock more dialogue. It's insane, and it's very refreshing to see, because now it makes you actually watch your words a lot more than even more so than the Telltale games, which, I mean, I played season 1 of The Walking Dead, and I could probably count on my fingers how many times I've had to make like a dialogue decision that affected the outcome of the game. But in Shadowrun, it's a lot different. Like, I remember I was talking to someone and I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, and then they got mad at me, and then they stopped talking to me, like just straight up. And I'm like, wait, hold on. And then like I reloaded because it was a misclick, and then suddenly, boom, I get a new quest. So like if I made the wrong decision, I would have been locked out of like an entire quest or something like that, or different items or things like that. The writing is very good, but another thing I want to talk about is the story. I'm just blabbing on about this game, because in Shadowrun Returns and Shadowrun Dragonfall, you're kind of just like, you create your character, and then you're suddenly part of this world, and then you find your place in that world. Whereas in Shadowrun Hong Kong, there's actually like more of an overarching story. I mean, there's an overarching story in Shadowrun Returns and Dragonfall, but in this one, like, it is very clear who your character is and what you are doing, because like, as a matter of fact, the first 30 seconds of the game when I launched it blew my mind, because there was suddenly voice acting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like suddenly there's voice acting, and then there's this man who's talking to you, and then like, wow, and then it already assigns you, like, it already tells you your story, like, for you, like, it already tells you like what are you going to do. It's like, you're sent, like, this old man, like an old man who was your father, who was basically your adopted father, who raised you. You ran away as a child from him, and then out of nowhere he calls you back, and he needs your help, and then you go to Hong Kong, and then you try to find him, and then suddenly you're just like already thrust into the story, and then like and you already have a brother, or a brother like figure, and then it's just a lot of stuff. And then like there's even drama, like the way the dialogue even like kind of is actually very good at portraying drama, which I was actually very surprised at. And that was really cool. Oh, and there's also stealth elements now.
Oh.
So you could either choose to sneak around enemies, or pull your guns on them and fight them, and then that of course affects the story as well. And believe it or not, I'm only on the first mission, and that's already like I'm only on my first real mission. Like, I already got to like the prologue, and now I'm on my first mission, and I'm doing like
It sounded like you were halfway through the game.
No, I just started. I feel like I just started, because like I just got all my equipment, and now I'm being assigned missions, and now I'm starting to go out and do stuff.
God.
So
It sounded like you already reviewed the game, and you're only in the beginning.
no, yeah, I'm just starting out, and I'm very excited to see what happens next, because the new hacking system is very different now. It's like it's kind of more like BioShock's hacking puzzles, where you had like, it's kind of in that
Bioshock
tone.
1?
Kind of like that, yeah. Kind of like BioShock 1's hacking puzzles a little bit,
Those are terrible.
except a lot harder, where it's a little, and also more frustrating, where you see numbers being entered, and then you have to replicate that like short-term
Oh.
memory, or you have to decipher some code, some like foreign language. And that wasn't the case in Shadowrun Returns, because in Shadowrun Returns it was just straight up combat in a cyberspace. But this time there's like an actual hacking element and like a stealth element. So like you try not to get detected, which I think is a little bit more authentic in terms of fantasy.
You think
hacking.
this is a good starting off point for someone like me? Or should I try and play the other stuff?
So like if you played XCOM, which I
have.
know you have, the
I
combat will be easy. So like you could probably jump straight into it, not a problem.
Is it really more like a tabletop RPG? Or more like an XCOM?
So combat, because I hate to say this, but I haven't played XCOM like at all. So, but as far as I know, there's cover, right? And then like you have a percentage of hit, right? Like you get like a crit percentage or just regular hit percentage, right? Like chance to hit. It's the same case in Shadowrun. So you move and it's turn based. So you move your enemy. You have a certain amount of action points per turn. You know, you can move your enemy and then shoot or do an ability, or you know you could just do an ability, or you could just shoot, stuff like that.
Okay.
Is that similar to XCOM? I assume it's a very basic combat element. So yeah, you could handle the combat no problem, and then the rest is just storyline and assigning skill points. So
And I could just jump into the Hong Kong story.
you could probably you could jump in. Another thing to note is all three of the recent Shadowrun games, Returns, Dragonfall, and Hong Kong, they're all like separate stories. So like there's no like overarching story between the three. It's not like you're gonna miss out on anything. They're just all three separate stories. The only reason why I would ever tell someone to play like them in order is so that they're not disappointed if they decide to go back.
Okay.
So like, because like people like if you played Shadowrun Dragonfall and then you played Shadowrun Returns, you would say, oh, Shadowrun Returns sucks. The UI sucks. The combat sucks. All this stuff sucks. But if you play Shadowrun Returns, then Dragonfall, then Hong Kong, you're like, ooh, wow, Dragonfall is even better than Shadowrun. I like Shadowrun Returns, but Shadowrun Dragonfall
in my
is
case, I'll
better.
probably just play Hong Kong and then not go back.
You don't need to. It's not an issue at all. The only reason why you would is just for the experience, just to like understand like how like the story, how like story mechanics work, where like you have to watch what you say or assign the right skill points and stuff like that. But you could figure that, like, it's fairly beginner friendly, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I've started into tabletop RPGs, so
Oh yeah.
I know that the origins of this is tabletop.
Yeah, it is. So is Cyberpunk 2077, I believe, which is the CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk game that is coming out. Not next year, but probably a long time.
Yeah,
from now.
but I
whenever.
believe there is a tabletop series called Cyberpunk. So
Yeah. So that was my basically like mini review of Hong Kong.
You've only played it for an hour, also.
Is it really only an hour total?
I think so. I mean, you said one mission. There's no way you've played it for that long.
6 hours. You know, I'm only on
6
like
hours. There's no way it's one.
this is the first real mission, I would probably say.
out
There's
of how
like,
many?
huh?
Out of how many?
Right now I have been assigned 3. But
know
I
how
know
many
there are
there
going to be
probably
more. I know there are going to be more. So I'm also very
Nice.
completionist, where I want to talk to everybody. I want to get all the items. You know, try to unlock every bit of story I can. So there's that. Also, I've had to restart a couple times because I forgot to save, and then I have to talk to everyone all over again, and just click through all the dialogue options and blah 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 blah. So saving is important. You can save whenever you want, thankfully. So
All right.
that's good. And instead of a safe house, you have a safe ship. You live on a ship now.
Okay.
That's just something that I should tell you guys.
I'm on a boat.
You work for a triad now, instead of like
Triad?
a triad.
Okay.
Triad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You work for a,
Yeah, that makes
you
more
work
sense.
for an Asian triad because you're in Hong Kong now. So, yeah, it feels very cyberpunky though, because just like the way everything is, the way people talk about it, and like there's also a magic element because it is Shadowrun. There's like magic involved. So yeah, that's what I have been playing. Is there anything else? Dirty Bomb. CS:GO. I got destroyed today in a CEVO match. 16-0.
Good God.
Yeah, those guys are really good. What else? Oh yeah, another thing is that Shadowrun is really low spec, so I like to play it during my breaks at work. I could just if you have like 10 minutes, you could just boot it up and just kind of go through, like progress a little bit more. It's very easy to just jump into, as long as you keep up with the story, of course. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
And I think we're out of time.
We are definitely out of time. So
The producers give me the signal. Give me the wrap it up signal.
you mean the wrap it up signal? Yep. So anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything you're looking forward to? Actually, I would like to say.
The rest of this year in video games?
I know you'll be talking about Metal Gear Solid next week. I know you will. I do want to hear your thoughts. This week, Battlefield 4's night maps are coming out. I will give you guys my impressions on that, because I still play Battlefield 4, so it's, you know.
I'll probably try that out as well.
No. Taylor, your upgraded rig can now play Battlefield 4 without dying.
Very
That's
true.
good.
I might get back into that as well.
Yeah, we'll see. Because it's better than Call of Duty, that's for sure.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
I've been allowing disk space for Call of Duty for the last half an hour. So.
All right. Well, so thank you for listening. This week's intro, as is every week's intro, this week's intro is provided to you by Grant Webster. His SoundCloud link is in the video description. Max's Max, who just left, his channel link is in the video description. I think he's actually been posting some new stuff, so yay. If you want to follow me at Twitter, on Twitter, you can follow me at the James Lee. Taylor T Kelsey.
At T Kelsey.
At T Kelsey. And without further ado, thank you for listening. On behalf of Taylor, the now gone Max, and myself, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.